Hey, good morning. So, today we're talking about how and where to find highly committed premium clients. This question, where do I find high quality clients who will invest in transformation, is one of the most common questions I get from my clients, and it seems to be one of the biggest source of frustration that most of us purpose-driven entrepreneurs have. For us to be able to create a big impact in the world, to change the world in some ways, and to also make a good living sharing our gifts, we have to know how and where to find and attract these high quality clients who are not only highly committed to the process of transformation, but they're also willing to invest and show up and do the work. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Today, I'm going to give you 5 really powerful steps. They're like my 5 secrets to help you attract and enroll premium clients that you're going to love to work with. The first secret I'm going to give you is inner work. Like, it's how you become the version of you that is actually going to be attractive to premium clients. And then the other 4 are actually strategies that you can use. I start with the inner work because honestly, without the inner work, without rewiring your nervous system, without getting anchored and essentially rooting your identity in expansion, the other 4 strategies will not work. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to take a brief minute to introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, welcome. I'm Ilsa. I'm a total spiritual nerd. I've also been a psychotherapist, an expansion expert, and a business strategist for many, many, many years. I've helped hundreds of clients over the last 20 years, essentially, to expand their state of being, their lives, their business, their leadership, and their wealth by rewiring their nervous system. So if you want more expansive growth and easeful receiving in your life, in love, in work, in wealth, then I offer a 90-minute one-on-one Wired for Wealth intensive at 55% off for people who are new to me, so that you can experience the work, you can get to know me, and you can have a breakthrough. And if you want to book it, then you can just click the link with this in the description of this training. So this Wired for Wealth intensive is specifically designed for purpose-driven professionals, soulful entrepreneurs, and leaders who essentially want to repair, recode, and expand their nervous system to feel safe, easeful, and playful in creating, receiving, and having more in their life and in their careers. All right, let's get started in what we're talking about today. So today I'm going to give you my 5 secrets, and these are the things that I have focused on, that I have seen work with my clients to attract high-ticket, highly committed clients that are going to be really lovely to work with. And they're going to be lovely to work with because money is not an issue, because they're ready for transformation, so they actually show up and do the work. And because they're going to be really aligned to you. They're not going to be clients that you say yes to, even though something in the back of your mind is telling you this isn't the right fit. These are going to be absolutely right fit clients. So let's start with the first one. The first secret here is all about rewiring your nervous system. First, you're going to want to shift your nervous system out of contraction and start to really anchor your identity in expansion. Here's the thing you have to understand about high quality premium clients. They don't view themselves as stuck. They don't view themselves as being in the struggle. These premium clients are looking for their next level. What that means is that they already have a sense of confidence, a sense of movement, a sense of flow. You're speaking to someone, when you're trying to attract premium clients, you're speaking to someone who is already empowered. And because they're empowered, because they're in a place of expansion themselves, they will only work with someone who essentially mirrors that expansion. When your nervous system is contracted, when you're in self-doubt, when you're in fear, when you're afraid of not getting results for your clients, when you're feeling overwhelmed, that contraction has a scent. Not literally, but although maybe, I don't know. Like definitely your body responds and your mind responds. There's a body language to contraction. When your nervous system is dysregulated, it's in you. Like it's in the way you move, it's in the way you talk, it's in the way you make eye contact. It's like an energy. People can sense it on some unconscious level through their mirror neurons. So the way I look at nervous system, I think of nervous system like strings. You know how like if you've got two strings in a room and you start to play one, the other one will start to vibrate at the same frequency as the first one. Nervous systems are like that. In some ways, when you're with someone, you can kind of catch their level of contraction or their level of expansion. And so premium clients, people who are ready to do big things in their lives, to change their lives in big ways, they can sense contraction or expansion and they will avoid contraction. Something won't feel quite right and they will be magnetized by expansion. They'll be attracted to the expansion. So your first step before you're doing any marketing, before you get on a sales call, like all of those things, is like you have to do them from a place of expansion. If not, people will sense that something is off when they're either meeting you or they're watching your content. So a contracted nervous system within you will lead you to doubt yourself. It will lead you to hide. It will lead you to undercharge, to overgive. And essentially it will keep you invisible and unattractive to the kind of people you're wanting to attract. Here's the truth. Your clients don't actually buy what you're selling. They're buying the expansion. They're buying the expansion they sense in you, right? And they're also buying the sense of expansion they sense is possible if they work with you. And that's true for anything. I don't care what you're selling. I don't care if you're selling vacation or if you're selling a car. Like when somebody's buying a car, they either buy because they feel safe and they feel seen and they feel understood by the salesperson. And then they buy because that vehicle is going to give them a sense of expansion, a sense of freedom, a sense of possibility. That's what people are interested in. It's not about the car itself. It's about the feeling that the car or the vacation or the exercise program or whatever is going to give them. It's the potential they sense is available in it. So to attract the right clients and to create real lasting results, you essentially have to become an expert, a master at bringing yourself out of contraction and into expansion, at essentially learning to regulate your nervous system, then learning to relax your nervous system, and then learning to expand your nervous system. So that when you are marketing, when you are doing a sales call, when you are networking, essentially that expansion that people want, it literally ripples out of you. So to create these results, you have to shift that nervous system into expansion. And when you do that, your nervous system essentially becomes an ally and a partner instead of a saboteur. Nervous system work is all about recalibrating our nervous system to the results we desire. And it's all about normalizing these results, normalizing working with the kind of clients you want to work with, normalizing getting paid what you want to work with, normalizing people getting amazing results so you have absolute confidence and clarity, normalizing all of that in your body first. And you do that so that when things start to shift in your environment, when you start to receive the results you want, you start to attract the people that you're wanting to, you don't get triggered and overwhelmed by the level of expansion that's happening, and you don't literally freeze and sabotage the process. Because that will happen a lot. People will say, I want to get paid this much, or I want to work with these kinds of people. And they'll have that in mind, but then when they end up on a sales call, they can't quote the price with any kind of full confidence. They don't feel comfortable with the person ahead in front of them because they're not sure they can get them results, or they have this sense of, who am I? I haven't achieved enough to help this person at this level. That is something that's happening in your nervous system. So that is always the first secret to attracting premium clients, is you essentially have to rewire your nervous system for premium clients, for the confidence, the empowerment, the calm certainty that premium clients are looking for. If you don't, you will block and sabotage your ability to receive and allow in what you desire. Without expansion work, we stay invisible to the people we want to work with. We keep second guessing what we're doing. And essentially, we make success hard, slow, and potentially painful. To sell expansion, you yourself have to be in expansion. And your nervous system needs to be anchored in expansion. That is literally 75% of the work. And then the 25% is the strategies you follow essentially from this place of expansion. And without this work, without the nervous system work, it's going to affect everything from your visibility to your ability to sell, to your relationships, to your wealth, to your leadership. So that's number one, is really rewiring and recalibrating the nervous system for expansion, and anchoring and normalizing expansion in your body so that it feels safe to succeed, so that it feels safe to attract really high-end premium clients, and so that you feel really certain of the amazingness that you can create with them. Number two, secret number two, you have to decide what is the big idea that you want to be known for, that essentially is going to make you really different in your field from everybody else who's doing something similar to you, and it is going to disrupt the status quo. I call that your golden thread. Your golden thread, essentially, that differentiator, that thing that makes you unique. It's sometimes it's something simple as a twist on something old, or a slightly different perspective, or slightly different way or order of doing things. It doesn't have to be that you're created and found something brand new that no one has ever seen. No, it's just like the way you do it is slightly different, and you have a reason, you have a real reason for doing it this way. Your golden thread essentially becomes the core of your message. It becomes the core of your marketing, so that your offers and essentially your messaging ends up standing out from the crowd. Your golden thread essentially dissolves competition, because there is no one who does it quite like you. So the process of your golden thread is to set you apart, is to make you a really unique and different voice in your field, and to essentially set you up as a thought leader. It is a unique and powerful way to position yourself so that you become incredibly attractive to premium buyer, because premium buyers usually, they've been there, done that. They've tried different things. They don't want more of the same. They want someone that essentially explains why everything they've done to this point hasn't worked. So if you are a health coach, for example, then they've done all the health program. And so what you want is, you want to explain to them through your golden thread how what you're doing is unique, and you're doing it this way because the other way doesn't work. What that does is, again, it sets you up as an expert, right? But it also removes the shame that a lot of clients have around the fact that they've not gotten results or long-lasting results in the past. All of us are this way. When we do something and it doesn't work, yes, we can blame the other person, their program didn't work, but there's always also a sort of sense that there's something wrong with us. Other people have gotten results, how come I didn't? Your golden thread is literally there to explain why they didn't get results and that it isn't their fault. And essentially that transformation is absolutely possible because you have a different way of doing it. So your golden thread becomes essentially the missing link in your industry that explains why they will get results with you. What you want to ask yourself, you want to look at what you're doing. And one of the powerful questions you can ask yourself to discover, like, what is my golden thread, is literally like, what's not being talked about in your industry? What are people not doing that you think they should do? Other coaches, other practitioners, other leaders, what are they leaving out that is a missing key to transformation? And that has to be the thing that you focus on. So you want to make sure that your big idea and your differentiator shows up over and over in your marketing, even if it's a one-liner. And essentially it becomes the thing you get known for. So it's showing up in your marketing, it's showing up in your content, it's showing up in your offers, it's showing up in your messaging. You want people to think, just like when I talk about nervous system work, like I do a lot of work around marketing. I do a lot of work around offers and pricing and all of that. But when people think of me, oftentimes they think of nervous system expansion work. And so you want to find the one thing that you can come back to over and over. So that's your golden thread. Honestly, it is one of the most important strategies you can have to set you apart and to become really attractive to premium buyers. It is also the thing that will allow you to charge potentially a little more because what you're doing is different. So that's number 2. Number 3, step 3 is you have to practice what I call authenticity and audacity marketing. First, let me say that you can't practice these two if you haven't done your nervous system expansion work, which is why I put it first, because it's really hard to show up truly like yourself if you don't feel safe being yourself. That's nervous system work. It's really hard to show up truly bold and audacious if you don't feel safe being seen. That's nervous system work. So you have to feel safe in your own self. You have to feel safe in the world. You have to feel safe being seen. You have to trust your own innate knowing to be able to show up with authenticity and audacity. The reason I'm bringing this up now is because once you're really expanded and you're grounded and secure in your own being, in your own brilliance, and then you have a clear sense of your message, what makes you different, your golden thread, why you are unique in the marketplace, why people should work with you compared to someone else, how you're better than others, and you're different than others. Once you have a sense of that, then audacity and authenticity is how you put the message out there, essentially. This is what allows you to be put on the map, to claim your brilliance, to actually speak your golden thread and start sharing it, to potentially disrupt the status quo a little bit, like to be bold enough to talk about what's not working in the industry and what you dislike and why people are not getting the results they desire. It takes a certain amount of courage to be able to do that. And so you have to have these other two things in place, and then you have to really be like essentially go all in behind your message, so that you can be loud and proud. That loud and proud is what will catch the attention of highly committed premium clients, because they will appreciate it. They will be attracted to that. They want someone different. They want someone who knows who they are and is not afraid to speak the truth. So when I talk about authenticity, this piece is about the courage to unclone your marketing. It's about the courage to break the rules and start doing it your way. Again, high quality premium clients like trendsetters. They don't want to work with a follower. They are themselves way weavers. And so they want to work with a way weaver. That authenticity, that confidence you have to do it your way is what will feel really attractive to a premium client. And so the way you do that with authenticity is you become an open book. You become an open book more about your own, like your own personal process, like how you do the work with yourself, essentially. And you become an open book potentially about the behind the scenes, the behind the scenes in your industry, the behind the scenes in your business. And what that does is it gives premium clients a sense of who you are, both as a professional and as an individual, as a human. They need to be able to see you walk your talk and do your own work. In many ways, with authenticity marketing, you are your biggest testimonial. You become your sales page. That's something my own coach, Shamika Tankerson, will say. You are the sales page. So if a premium buyer in some way does not like you, if they don't want and aspire to be you in some way, they will not work with you. So they have to know who you are, and they have to be in some way awed by your level of freedom, your level of truth, to want to work with you. So that's the authenticity piece. The audacity part is about essentially fearlessness. It's about boldness. When your nervous system is expanded, when you're able to really embody your brilliance and to essentially give yourself permission to be bold and to speak your truth, and not just speak your truth like this, but speak your truth like this, it's going to land differently when people hear it. You're going to be able to share with absolute conviction how your work is different from everybody else's work. You're going to be able to speak from conviction why your clients are stuck with everybody else they've worked with, but they won't be stuck with you. When you are speaking from that place of audacity and your nervous system is literally anchored in sovereignty, then you are able to speak as to what becomes possible for people when they work with you. So that audacity gives you permission to really highlight your work and to not hide, to not just sprinkle it, but clearly speak as to what you do, who you work with, how you're different, how much you charge, what are the steps to work with you. There's a level of clarity and confidence in audacity that is extremely compelling to premium buyers. So audacity marketing essentially includes calling out what's broken and missing in your industry and speaking up why you're better, sharing your wins and your clients' wins, and not being afraid to share the truth, even if the truth, especially if the truth is big, and not being afraid to attract negative attention or be judged. Audacity marketing includes sharing testimonials, having a clear and direct message and invitation posts, like letting people clearly know, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is who I work with, this is how much it costs, this is the results you can expect, and this is how you get started with me. Essentially, being able to be so clear that people have absolutely no doubt about you and your work. You see, premium high quality clients are busy, but they're also decision makers. So they're busy decision makers. When they don't want to spend a whole lot of time reading between the lines, having to research somebody, having to figure out how to work with someone. They want things clearly put in front of them so that when they're ready to move, they can move. They don't want to waste a whole lot of time and energy getting started. So audacity allows you to not beat around the bush and to be very clear how they can get started working with you, which will save them time, and it will essentially make them feel like you understand who they are and you're not there to waste their time. When we're hiding, when we're beating around the bush, again, there's a form of contraction there, and premium clients will be able to sense that. They will be able to sense that there's a sense that maybe there's some doubt or a lack of clarity or a lack of conviction. Audacity marketing removes all of that. So that was number 3, authenticity and audacity marketing. Number 4 is you want to start shifting your content and your offers away from information towards creating expansive and transformational experience. Here's the thing, premium buyers, like I've said before, they've been there, done that. They have all the information they need, or they know how to get the information they need. Like the world, the internet, like everything you need to know is on there if you're willing to find the time and to go look for it. Premium buyers don't want information, they want transformation. So you want to make sure that what you're speaking to and what you're doing is about essentially shifting them. It's going to feel, you want your offers, your marketing, everything to feel exclusive, to feel nourishing, to feel like a life-changing, mind-bending experience. You want these people to not just gather information that they could have gone from anywhere else, but to feel after they've watched one of your videos, if they've downloaded one of your freebies, or they've read one of your posts, that they're literally leaving that experience a different being. So you want to make sure that your content, your copy, your offer speak to that transformation, that you essentially create a paradigm shift, that you literally disrupt. When I said that, your golden thread is about disrupting the status quo. So you're disrupting the status quo of your industry, but you're also disrupting the status quo of your potential client. You're disrupting how they see themselves. You're disrupting the thoughts they have been having that are keeping them stuck, that are keeping them repeating patterns. You want to literally create content and create experiences, create offers that shift their paradigm, that blows their mind, that make them feel like they're having a massive realization and shift within themselves even before they start working with you, because that's going to lead to something in them that says, man, if I'm already transformed just by reading this post, if I've already had this massive realization just by watching this video, who am I going to be at the end of working with this person for 3, 6, 9 months? That's that sense of expansion that I talked about. People buy expansion. To get them to be highly committed and be ready to move, you have to move them into a place of expansion. You have to essentially bring them to an experience, not just up here, but an experience of what is possible. Almost like they're discovering a future version of themselves, a future way of being that they did not even know was possible for them. So that's essentially the process of getting someone who is highly committed to want to work with you, and essentially getting them into that expanded self where working with you is a done deal. They've literally sold themselves. You don't even have to sell anymore because they feel like something truly different is possible for them by being in your presence. At that point, it's not even about the process or what you're selling. It's about wanting to be with you, wanting to work with you, wanting to learn from you, wanting to be you in some ways. Step 1 to 4 is a lot of the work I do with clients, like rewiring the nervous system and then setting up the whole marketing from a place of expansion to essentially create expansion, so that there's almost no sales process that's necessary. And so now let me give you secret number 5, which is my last little strategy. If you want to attract premium clients, you have to go where premium buyers hang out. And so let me tell you first where they don't hang out. At least it's been my experience that you're not going to find high quality, highly committed, high ticket buyers in these two places. The first one is other people's Facebook group. Honestly, as stated, premium buyers are busy. They've got full lives. They simply don't have a lot of time to waste in Facebook groups. And if they are there, they're there for the person who's hosting the Facebook group. They're not going to interact with other people's content a whole lot. So you're going to put a lot of content out there, a lot of energy out there, and potentially either attract the wrong kind of clients, or you are going to waste your time, essentially. I find Facebook groups to be a huge drain of energy and a huge time sunk for not a whole lot of receiving, essentially. The other place where you're probably not going to find high quality buyers is in networking groups. Unless you're looking at a very high-end networking group. Or what you're offering is a really simple, relatively inexpensive, unique, simple way of them to solve a specific problem or bring in more clients. A lot of networking groups are filled with people who want more clients themselves. They're not there to really make connections. They're there to hopefully sell you or get you to refer somebody to them. That is not a super high-end, high-quality buyer. They're still in the chasing place rather than being fully in the transformation place. So where do premium buyers hang out? Here's the best advice. They're everywhere, right? Like they can be in your grocery store. They can be in any kind of place that you go to. Because premium buyers are people like you and I. They're not different than who we are. The best advice I can give you is paid events or premium experience or premium programs. So if you go to a paid event held by an industry leader where people have paid good money to be there, maybe a high-end retreat, maybe a mastermind, maybe some kind of high-end VIP marketing event, something that's about paradigm shifting, maybe a high-end conference, something like that. More than likely, the people there are interested in transformation. They've invested already in transformation. So for example, let's say you're a trauma coach and you go to a high-end leading edge event focused on breaking free from limitations. You can know from that everybody here feels limited, wants to break free of that, and is willing to invest at a higher level to experience that. What that tells you is that almost everyone there could be a potential client. So where you don't want to go to these events to try to sell or find clients. You want to go to these events for yourself. You want to be a participant. You want to enjoy the shit out of them. You want to be fully in them, and then you want to have conversations. You want, from that place of expansion, from that place of, I don't need clients, but I know you are here. Like, you could be a client. Like, so you're leaning back, you're there for you, but you're also in that authenticity and that audacity. You're not afraid to share what you do and who you are and who you work with in conversation as applicable. And you're there to make connections, and that's it. You will usually meet people in these environments that are potentially a really great fit for you and will then start following you or will reach out to you after the event. That is also true in coaching programs. Like being able to show up in coaching programs from a place of leadership, knowing that you're there for you, but there's a good chance that there's also people in there that could benefit from your services. And so really being able to show up in a place of conviction, in a place of expansion, in a place of being anchored in your own leadership. So this is what I have for you. These are my 5 secrets. Rewire your nervous system for expansion so that you can sell expansion. Find your golden thread. Find the one thing that is unique to you, that is different from all the other industry leaders, that sets you up as a thought leader, that essentially that people are going to know you for, and is going to let people know that you are an expert. Practice audacity and authenticity marketing. Be willing to be an open book and to be essentially your own walking testimonial for your work. And be willing to be audacious in how you talk about your work and how clearly and simply you're there sharing how to work with you. Don't force people to go hunt how to work with you. People like simplicity, especially premium buyers. Then you essentially want to shift your content away from information into expansion and transformation. People do not buy information. They buy having their mind exploded by a new way of looking at life, a new way of experiencing themselves, a new way of experiencing what is possible. Your content is there to disrupt the status quo of your industry. That's the audacity part. And it's there to disrupt the status quo of your client. Show them why they're still stuck and show them what else is possible. You can't do that if you're just giving information. So the focus of your content has to be paradigm shifting, belief shifting in your clients, so that they feel that if they're already a new being by just reading a piece of your content or watching one of your videos, they can't even imagine what becomes possible if they actually work with you. And then the last one is you want to go hang out where your premium buyers are. That is not in other people's Facebook group. That is most likely not in networking group. That is in other paid premium event. Whether that's retreats, whether that's high-end conferences, whether that's coaching programs, like experiences, paradigm-shifting experiences, places where industry leaders will be speaking is where your clients will be going. All right, that is what I have for you. These are my best advice that I can give you to attract and enroll highly qualified quality clients. You need all of them. Probably the fifth one is the least important, because my sense is that if you do the other four, if your nervous system is fully expanded, and if you have a real sense of your golden thread, if you are being bold and audacious, and you're shifting belief in your messaging and in your marketing, you will grab attention and you will get clients. Finally, I want to bring you back to the nervous system. Again, none of the other ones work if you do not expand your nervous system. Your nervous system is literally what makes everything you do work. So if you are ready to expand out of contraction, if you want to grow and achieve and receive more with a lot more ease and a lot more enjoyment, then I would love to work with you. I want to help you anchor and live in expansion and succeed massively in life, in love, in work, and wealth, from a place that truly delights you and honors all of you, including your bank account, but not just your bank account. To help people get started with that, I offer a 90-minute Wired for Wealth intensive. It's one-on-one with me, and it's at 55% off. And you can book that by clicking the link in the description of this video. In this intensive, essentially, we're going to explore and figure out exactly what are the blocks and the wounds in your nervous system that are holding you back. And then I'm going to teach you my proprietary hatching process, which is essentially used to bring yourself out of contraction back into expansion so that you can stop getting in your own way. And then if you want to continue working with me, I'm going to give you a couple different options to fit your needs and fit your budgets. So if you're ready to get started with that, it's $149, 90 minutes one-on-one with me. You can just click the link in the description. Please remember that you have everything you need to succeed inside you. You are literally the most powerful force in your life. Your nervous system is the path to healing your past, and it is also the gateway to your potential and to the future that you desire. You are literally a living map of how to get to success your way. It's totally possible to transform yourself, to shift, to create and receive what you want in life and in love and in business with simplicity and with joy. It's a lot easier to do it with support. And so I would love to help you unlock that potential within you and create easeful and fast results in a way that really nourishes you and feels easeful and is simple. And if you want to essentially experience what that would look like, then click on the link and let's just work for 90 minutes. Essentially that's what you're committing to. 90 minutes of deep work with me, and let's see what's possible. Have a wonderful rest of your week and weekend.